Welcome, friends, to this space. Thank you for being here with me. And I trust that for some, this will be the perfect message today. There is a request. I believe it's in all of our hearts. And it's easier for some than others. And it's easier at some moments than others, which is to allow life to change, to allow ourselves to change, to allow what we had believed would happen, had hoped would happen, to become something different from what we had imagined or experienced, to allow ourselves to change and to become something new. And becoming something new can be beautiful. It can be freeing, awe-inspiring. It can be miraculous to become something new. As a matter of fact, understanding, believing, accepting that becoming something new that we've never been before is frankly a little bit of a miracle. And to embrace that and to celebrate it, because sometimes the process, and I would say even often the process, is not so easy. And it's in the expecting it to be easy or painless or without some loss is unrealistic and it's unhelpful. So rather to accept that becoming something new, because it requires change, may not be easy, and it may not all feel good, even if we are moving from a very undesirable experience to something more desirable. And it would seem like, of course I want the new thing because it's better. It feels better. And logically, it is better. But how often do we not give ourselves the credit or the understanding, the compassion? But it's new. And that means that it's not as practiced, as integrated as the thing that we've done in the past, the person that we've been in the past, the thing that we have practiced believing, thinking, being, doing, experiencing, feeling, speaking in the past. And this is, to me, one of the beautiful things about time. Recently, I hear quite a bit about the idea that time is a human construct. Well, it's one of the beautiful parts about being human, is this thing of time and the opportunity to delineate the past from the future, the past from the present. And yet, it's also a beautiful thing to leave the past in the past and not let it hinder our becoming. For myself, I am enjoying the freedom to take these messages and my channel into new areas and to experiment and explore with different ways of showing up and different ways of being. I try to show up fairly consistently, but with different kinds of messages, with different ways of presenting them, exploring, experimenting, becoming, and all of it being valid and valuable because it is part of the process. It, the becoming itself is the process of the becoming, and allowing that to be true, embracing that that is the truth instead of this extreme value that we as humanity, or at least European humanity, have believed for centuries, centuries upon centuries, that stability and the sameness and equals security, when nature holds a much more relaxed view of safety and its resiliency and its redundancy and the ability to continue regardless of what the circumstances are, not only continue but to thrive. And in this day that we, in this literal day and moment where we are, and in this moment in time in history where we are, the capacity to change, to evolve, to adapt, to be resilient, to not have to be the same individually as ourselves, and also within our lives and within our relationships, the capacity to adapt and to change is where the power, the necessary thriving is going to be. It is. Those who adapt thrive. Those who insist on a steadfastness which requires life and circumstances and others and themselves to remain the same. I used to believe that. I understand the appeal of it. I get it. And I understand flaws that I didn't see before because I was so much in it that I couldn't, of course, imagine anything else, which is the exact example of this pattern, this way of being. So instead of believing that our strength is in the concrete and material and in things and people and ourselves staying the same, having one job for 40 years, with companies that last forever. But that is a misunderstanding of time, because nothing lasts forever. Okay, there's some other things behind the scenes, but let's go with that. Because everything is always in motion. And so, how can we, how can I, how can you today be more sensitive to what is within yourself, within myself, that wants to shift, that wants to become something new, the energy that wants to go in a new direction, to explore something new, to try being something different. Experience yourself, experience myself. in a new kind of way, and allowing ourselves the freedom and allowing others the freedom as well to explore who they are. What does it take for you and for me today to give that freedom and not need everything to stay the same? Can we become people who encourage exploration and evolving and changing, even at the cost of our own quote unquote security and staying the same, which is comfort? And I get it. It's easier, quote unquote. The thing is, it can't last. Change must happen. Evolving must happen. Becoming something new will happen because time, one way or the other, things will change. Will they change against resistance, or will they change with blessing and ease and flow to the best of our ability? This is my goal today before that was almost a sneeze. Allowing. And in the allowing of the sneeze, it didn't have to happen. Isn't that a little illustration? One we don't need to pursue right now. Wishing you peace, love, and acceptance in your journey today, my dear friend. Namaste.